most frequently asked questions that I get is, how can I find out the formula for approving food products, items, and recipes on my own? And often folks will say the because Travis said so rule is not adequate for my analytical mind. Look, I totally get it. I understand. If I were in your shoes, I would feel the same way. But in fact, it would be impossible to create an affordable lifestyle and program that everyone could be successful with if we tried to teach all of the aspects of all of the different formulas that we use here to determine if a food item, a product, a recipe is approved for your program. And in addition to that, I want to be able to put my money where my mouth is. I want to be able to promise you that if you follow the Shibboleth Shield and the Shibboleth way of life, that you will lose weight and lose it in a helpful but yet rapid way. So let me explain to you how you can determine for yourself if a food product, a grocery item, a recipe, any of that stuff is approved for the program. Number one, if you're wanting to do it on your own, then learn the Phase 1 program. You need to get into and out of Phase 1 basic training, take the test, pass the test, earn the badge. And when you do that, you should be able to properly categorize most foods. You would then know how to properly combine these foods and portion them for healthful and rapid fat loss. So you can do that part on your own without any more of my assistance or the Shibboleth family's assistance if you wanted to go that route. Now, that program, Phase 1, is full of variety. But Phase 2, 3, and 4 do offer more variety. But then giving you the formula begins to be more difficult, because as we give out information like that, then it becomes more complex and people start trying to teach people. And what's really appealing about the Shibboleth lifestyle is that it is a lifestyle and we're all on the same page right now. So if we allow everybody to teach every aspect of those formulas, it's going to get so confusing that everybody will be on a different page. It will be like trying to build the Tower of Babel. You know, everybody's speaking in a different language and will never make any progress. So if Phase 1 basic training doesn't satisfy your analytical nature, then you can move on to food calculators. See, the food calculator formulas are the same for everyone too. So with the food calculators, now you can determine for yourself if a bread, cheese, meal replacement bar, snack, condiment, bacon and sausage, maintenance snacks, and meat are approved. But you have to use those food calculators. You just plug in the nutritional profile of any of those types of foods. Just make sure you've got it categorized right. And then the calculator will tell you how much to use of it and whether it's approved or not. So that's super cool. That's something that you can do without me or without any more information that will allow you to approve your own foods. Now, those calculators are very strict. They can only look at the macronutrient profile of a food. They cannot look at the practical use of the product, and they cannot look at the ingredients in a product. So in other words, whey protein, soy protein, milk protein, peptides, all these different things, they all break down differently. There are pre-digested foods. There are foods that require a lot of energy expenditure through digestion that have a high thermic effect. That's something that you cannot necessarily put into a formula. I guess you could, but it would be so confusing for everyone that it would be chaos. All right, so we don't want to do that. So what are your options to find variety if you're out of Phase 1 basic training and the food calculators still aren't providing you enough variety? Then you have to rely on me and the Shibboleth family. We have a very robust set of databases in our resources. And here we look at ingredients, macronutrients, micronutrients, perfect pairings. All you have to do to find out if a product that you think is acceptable and how to use it is to upload it into the food library or the recipe library, and then we will scrutinize it for you and come back and tell you if it's approved or not approved, and more importantly, how to use it. See, there's nothing you can't have. For example, you can have a half a cup of cake batter flavored Mayfield ice cream as a snack if you just looked at the nutritional profile, but a half a cup, it's a quarter cup. A quarter cup, I mean, that ain't enough to get you started. You get started with that, you won't be able to stop. So we don't want to tell you that because it's not practical. Some things will work, but it's not practical. So we want you to upload these things that you find that aren't already in our resources in our library into the resource and library, and let us look at it for you. Let us help you determine if it's really the right thing for you to do, because some things you can do but should not do. So that's what the library is there for, and all of our members have the ability to upload these ideas, these things that you find into that library, and let's look at it. The Bible says there is safety in a multitude of counsel. We're your counsel. We want the results that you're seeing out there to maintain themselves, not for another month, not for this year, not for a couple of years, but for a lifetime, okay? And then lastly, if it's a recipe that's already in the database, or a restaurant item already in the database, or you get a Shibboleth approved and endorsed meal plan, those items are going to be right. Just make sure that you look at the description and that you are pairing the right things with these meals or restaurant items the right way. From time to time, you will see a restaurant item, for example, that doesn't look like it is phase 1 approved to you. But that's okay, you see, because we've been able to look at the full nutritional profile and make sure that from a macronutrient standpoint and a portion standpoint that it fits in your program, and that if you're already in efficient fat burning, it doesn't take you out of efficient fat burning. So I don't like the Travis said so rule either. And it's not something that I approve of when folks say that, because it's not like that. We're a family, we're doing this together, and we want to maintain the same language, same lingo, and be all on the same page. And the only way you can do that outside of phase 1 and outside of the calculators is for us to have an opportunity to review it, put it into those the databases online, into the resource library, so that we all are on the same page and can continue to help each other on the private members-only Shibboleth group. I hope that makes sense. That's my best stab at explaining it. God bless you.